that really swung the entire elections. Now, let's take you through which are the 7 battleground states, why these states are so very crucial for both the candidates. And if you see, most of the campaigning of both the candidates were revolving around these states. Let's first begin with Arizona, because this is one such state since 1940. Remember, it only went once to the Democrats. So 90% of the voters in Arizona have opted for the mail-in or early ballot. So one would certainly expect, the counting to take place faster here. Results could be skewed because remember, here we've seen the Democrats only picking it up only in the last elections. And the margin also was down to about 20,000 votes as far as in Donald Trump's case goes. Initial counts likely leaning towards Harris. That's what we are picking up right now from multiple wire agencies reporting from Arizona. Let's take you through the other. Georgia could see the blue mirage. Now that's the other, battleground state that we are focusing on. Georgia, remember, has also leaned more towards the Republicans too. So will there be a repeat this time for Donald Trump? We'll also look at the numbers. If you can get the desk also to tell me what's the current number really coming in.
Okay, I'll quickly get an Indian perspective. Anang Mittal, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Anang. I remember, being in the US. I think it was 2019 when the Howdy Modi event happened, right? And Trump is extremely popular with the Indian American community. I'd stick my neck out and say very few Indian Americans maybe will be batting for Kamala Harris, even though she has Indian roots, and we didn't see any of that come out in the election campaign. I would expect an excitement around Kamala Harris, an Indian American, right, being in the race. But I'm sticking my neck out and saying very few Indians are rooting for Kamala Harris for some reason. More Indian Americans rooting for Donald Trump. Why don't you explain this to us? I also have Saurabh Shukla live with us. I'll get him on this perspective. But Anang, I'd like to get your view on it first up.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. There was this recent survey by the Carnegie Endowment on Indian Americans, and so it does say that about 60% of Indian Americans tend to vote Democratic. But you're right that Donald Trump has been much more friendlier to the Indian community, has been done much more outreach to the Indian community than Kamala Harris has done. You can say that Indian Americans are by default Democratic. Leading voters because they're highly educated, the ones who come here, and they tend to be from the professional and middle class. Now, a lot of Indian Americans in states like Georgia happen to be business owners, they're hotel owners, they own grocery stores or small convenience stores, and the same with places like Pennsylvania as well. And so those Indian Americans are also, they tend to be Republican voters. They tend to vote Republican because they care more about the issues of business, taxes, inflation, as much as the middle class does. And so those are the more upfront, visible Trump supporters when it comes to the business community of Indian Americans. But yeah, I think it's fair to say that Trump has done much better outreach. Kamala Harris sort of checks the box every time she did this Diwali celebration at the White House. Again, it was a lot of my friends went there. I know quite a few Indians who went to the Diwali celebration at the White House, so it's appreciated. But it's one of those things where she tends to not sort of make a big deal out of it.